Hi everyone, Assalamualaikum. Today I am going to introduce you to my lovely e-reader. We'll also give you a little comparison on Kindle Paperwhite 11th generation. This is my brother and this is mine. My e-reader is Onyx Books Book 3. This size is exactly like Kindle Basic 2022. Exactly is also the case that I'm currently using. So it's already discontinued and they keep on purchasing book series, but book 3 is already discontinued. This is my Onyx books. It actually have books written under this, but I covered it up with a bunch of cat stickers. I love cats. And also I attached that I put together myself. It says Guts, and it has a lot of butterflies. And that was just like off detail. And I have a magnetic pop socket that I can take on and off however I like. And I also attach a bunch of photos that I printed on my HVS paper and then I put inside this. And I also put a little of like paper thingy for the on and off button, because it is not actually for Onyx books. It has this thing that it doesn't work because this is not where my on and off button is. Different to my brother's Kindle, which has a lot bigger size. This is 11th generation, and almost every Kindle I know, they have on and off button here. So yeah, that is where the difference take place. And we go on to my whole setup. Let's just get into it. This is my Onyx books. As you can see, it's a lot more reflective, but believe me, it's not gonna bother you as much. And this is how my casing looks like. I'm using the Kindle Basic 2022 case for my Onyx because turns out they are in the same size, but as you can see, they left with significant space in here that might be bothering to people, and that's why I put on like folded paper on top of the on and off button so that I can access it easily. This is how it looks like. This is way smaller than Paperwhite. This is something that I think cannot get in Kindle. You cannot really change the wallpaper, or maybe you can, but there are like tricks to do that. It's not really a built-in feature that you can just follow. So I'm gonna turn it on. This is the turn it on button. They don't have any other button rather than just other than this button. So this button is the only button that they have, and this, ignore this. I used to put on pop socket directly to the skin, and now I'm regretting it. And they are currently running on type C, and this is also on type C and C. And we're gonna turn it on. When I turn it on, I set it up so that I can just simply get into my menu, and we have settings. So in settings, I actually have Onyx account, but I don't know why they keep on saying that I don't or have not yet logged into it. And I just updated the firmware, I think 4 months ago, and I think it's the final firmware update that they let me have for this book 3 because it's already discontinued. So now if you want to buy Onyx, you can buy the book 5, and it's still running on Android, so yeah. And this is way more expensive than Kindle, so you need to bear that in mind. And it doesn't have very pretty battery life. So the battery life, because it runs on Android, it barely lives for like a month, something that maybe Kindle users laugh about, because using a Kindle, people can just simply go without charging for a whole month or even longer than that. But when it comes to Onyx, if you read a lot, in 1 week you probably need to charge it. But I don't think it's really much of a problem because I can just simply let my e-reader charge within a night, and then I can use it for another week. So it's not really a huge problem for me. And I'm gonna let you see how my menu looks like. And we have Naviball. It's something like a set of touch or whatever. And I set this up myself. So the coolest thing about Onyx is that because it's simply like a tablet, you can literally control every single thing from this, like gestures. You can control that you want to go back, press or swipe there, and then you want to go to the, go to the home page, you can go to the multitasking page. You can simply erase that like that. It's simply like a tablet. And I have the control to change my screensaver as well. And I also have apps that I use mostly here are some of the apps. And before we get into the apps, I'm going to show you my file. My whole storage is 32 gigabytes. This says the available 17 gigabytes, and I already used 46%, and that is mostly because I use apps. Okay, I downloaded apps, and I also downloaded a bunch of stuff as well. So it's not really just about books, it's also about storage, about my updates. And I'm gonna get into the Kindle app so that you can see the comparison to the previous one. Also has the same thing like actual Kindle. They have dictionary, and you can also highlight them. This is my library. I have a bunch of books in here. I also put in PDF, so let's see how PDF looks like on Kindle. I personally don't like how PDF looks like in Kindle because they simply need to be zoomed in order to be able to be read. That is why it's something that I don't like. And then I have Media Digital that I also used a lot when I got this e-reader the first time. This is how Media Digital looks like. And I actually am not subscribed to it anymore. This is also how the PDF looks like. Maybe you think that this is very big, but as I said, Onyx books allow you to change almost everything from your settings. So I can simply change the DPI from the app optimization. The DPI setting is 402. That's why everything looks very big. But when I turn it to a smaller number, let's say 30, 32, it became smaller. So yeah, as you can see, smaller. And this is why Onyx is probably a little bit confusing at first, and not a lot of people love that bunch of customization. I personally very much get used to it. So yeah, that is how the Media Digital looks like. And a lot of people might have problem with how laggy it looks, but you can also change it. This is the setting of X, is the highest setting. Some detail loss suitable for browsing websites and playing videos. And you can also make the dark color a lot more enhanced if you want everything way more detailed. And light color, also you can turn it off if you don't like it. And you can also do optimization in any other apps practically. And I am going to show you how the website looks like. I love to go into Simon Tune website to get books recommendation and simply books that they allow me to read for free for a whole month. But I'm gonna turn the e-ink into speed mode. So in Simon Tune website is also a website that I constantly use to read for free. They change their books every single month, so you get new books every single month as well. And for this month they have Winterwood. Coolest thing is that when you don't have time to read for this month, but you are looking for the book that actually only available for this month, you can simply not going back to the previous page and then just save them. Like the Midnight Club. Midnight Club is, I think, for November month, but I saved it in here. So when I refresh it, they don't require me to loan the book or whatever. They can simply show this. The problem is that the setting of this is really bad. I cannot really, change a bunch of things from here. The appearance, whatever. I just able to change the font, and that is it. This is how much I can change it. And I just simply don't like it. Honestly, I said that I don't like it, but I have read from this website as well. Like 3 times or 4 times a whole book from this website. But yeah, so it's not really a problem. I feel like e-reader really allows you to just simply grasp everything inside. There is no actual excuse for you to not read any books from e-reader, really. And we have something that I put inside of my e-reader as well. And the problem that I don't like from this app that they come themselves is that there are barely ability for me to make the UI a lot more comfortable to see. Everything is just weird looking and so old-fashioned. There are so many settings to the point where I don't know how to properly give what I like. I barely use the actual built-in e-reader or reading app, and I mostly just put my books inside of Kindle. And about battery, I personally don't think that the battery really bothers, and they say that 66% more than 2 days remaining. Last full charge 88 days ago. Screen usage since full charge 2 hours. These days I don't really use my Onyx. I read from physical books nowadays, but yeah, I still use it sometimes. Maybe it gets laggy. You can just simply release the RAM. I have also the setting of front light, warm, whatever, something like that. You can also turn off the navy bell. They also allow you to connect on like Bluetooth earphones. So if you want to listen to, you know, podcast, or you want to listen to audiobook, you can also do it from this device as well. And yeah, that's it. So that is my review and also a little bit tour on my e-reader. Also, I will give you a little bit on the comparison to the Kindle Paperwhite. As you can see, the size is definitely so different. In Kindle Basic, they don't have the smooth screen like this, like the bezel and the screen just not as smooth like this. When it comes to Paperwhite, they have the smooth skin, so the bezel and the screen is just one line. We are going to get into setting. Let's see how the setting looks like. And yeah, so this is exactly like how my settings would look like in my Kindle app. This has 6 gigabytes. This is something that a lot of people have concern on. A lot of people concern on them not getting proper storage. When it comes to e-reader and any other device that purposely is for reading, you don't need big space, because books are only like, I don't think book even reach megabyte. This is Paperwhite. They allow you to change the brightness, the warmth, and yeah, this is how it looks like. And then you can also synchronize it so that it can just simply get into all of your devices. And let's see how it looks like while we're reading it. Okay, so they still have that animation. Is how I prefer my Kindle app looks like. I'm not gonna mess with his reading journey, so I'm just gonna turn it off after this, going back to the first page, and then we're gonna get back to the library. And this is how it looks like on the actual Kindle. And now we're gonna get back. So I don't get it when a lot of people in TikTok especially complaining over them buying a Kindle or buying an e-reader and then simply cannot do stuff in it. I mean, the only reason you buy an e-reader is to focus only on reading, and that is the sole of the purpose of e-reader. E-reader is a tablet or any other thing, or how do you call it, the device that you simply are dedicating it for reading, because you're barely able to do anything there. In my Onyx, you can simply browse in here, but why would you? The lagging is going to stress you out, and that's why I don't recommend you to do anything other than reading in this tablet. Even though people say that, oh, it's Android tablet, of course I'm gonna get this and then I'm not gonna need any other thing. Yes, it is an Android tablet, but like, bear in mind that its specific purpose in life or in existence is for reading purposes. Do not expect too much about this device. It's not gonna make you absolutely become a bookworm right away. No, it's not gonna do that for you, but it's gonna make you a lot more focused on your reading, and you're gonna be less distracted when reading, especially if you want to start building a reading habit, and also if you want to put an investment. Because for me personally, I feel like I spend less in terms of books when I have my e-reader. Because I'm talking about subscription, I'm talking about Gramedia Digital, Pusnas, and Libby. Those are like library thing that I can just simply borrow my books on. And I personally buy discounted books. I barely spend a lot of money in books compared to when I was in the age of 15, 14. I was like so obsessed with books to the point where I literally buy a bunch of books every single time I go to and visit bookstore. And this is something that I kind of stopped eventually because I have my e-reader, and also I discovered that I simply cannot just read that much books. Also, a little reminder that e-reader is so fragile. I have made this broken once and I spent a bunch of money to fix them. I just really need to put that out loud because a lot of people don't really care about their e-reader, forgetting that it's so fragile to the point where they simply throw away their e-reader onto the sofa or onto the bed. They forgot that this e-reader cannot just stand alone without a case. I myself touching this, holding it like this, feel the shiver in me because I have once let this go out of my sight, just put it into my backpack like this, and then without any case, without anything. And then I got to my class and I wanted to read, and then I turn it like this, and then they have a dent in here and I cannot turn it on and off, and they simply broke. Like if you are buying from the Onyx, they simply give you a free case, so you don't have to worry too much about it because they're gonna give you one. I don't really know if this is really that fragile. I don't want to confirm that. I honestly like how it's so smooth in Kindle, but in my Onyx it's still a little bit laggy, but I personally enjoy that. I mean, I don't really care about the lagginess as long as I can still read on it. So that is it for today's video. I hope you like this video because I've been wanting to make this video for so long. Thankfully, my brother came here so that I can just borrow his Kindle and I can do a little comparison on how the Kindle actually looks like compared to my Onyx, because a lot of people mistakenly think that I own Kindle, but it's not really a Kindle. I keep on telling people that this is not a Kindle, it's Onyx, but if you want to get to be simple, you can call it Kindle as well. I don't really care because my wallpaper itself is called, this is my emotional support Kindle, so it's not really something that I have problem with actually. I also love that I have a pop socket that I can take on and off however I like. So if you want to get into the left hand, which is a lot more comfortable for me, I would do it like this, but in case I want to go with the right hand, this is also how it looks like. So this is really fun and I love it so much. This has been with me for almost 2.5 years, and I cannot thank this book enough for saving me a lot of money for buying books. I mean, this is way more expensive than actual books, but when you collectively count every single purchase of your book, we're talking about different numbers. That is it for today's video. I hope this video is fun to you and actually help you to, put the decision. Have a nice day. Have a great day. See you soon later on the next video. Bye. Assalamualaikum.